future people who will support and drive the market force in the future. I think that does also require that there has to be a wide range of supports and training and educational opportunities for those job seekers, and they will be announced in cooperation with the Department of Education, because we can only do so much with the limited training, and they are mostly short-term training courses that we offer to get people immediately into the marketplace. For those people who want to have lifelong learning, for those people who want to have a career established off the back of a diploma, a degree or a master's, and they need to be supported through our educational services, our SUSI grants and our Back to Educational grants, because the goal of Pathways is to ensure that as many jobs as are available go to as many people as we can or as we have on the live register. And there are other people in Ireland who are not working and maybe they choose to work or don't work, and if and when they ever do choose to work, we can then address those specific cohorts of people, and by that I'm talking about maybe people who are at home for many, many years minding their children, may not be a job seeker, they may not be on the live register, but at some point may decide that they want to get back in when the kids are all flown the nest and chasing fellas and girls, that they might want to get back into the register. We provide support to them, but I'm so specifically talking, and our programmes are centred around those people on the live register today, to support them, whether they be long-term, whether they be over 55, whether they be under 25, to have a range of programmes to make sure that anybody who's on the live register wants a job can be helped get the jobs that are now thankfully available for us in this country. I want to specifically just talk about TOOS for a second, because some 6 years ago local partnership companies were identified to manage the TOOS programmes, and I think it was a recognition of the strength gained over the years of working in and for communities at a local level. And I think, as many of us know, this work takes place in the background, there's no divas, it's often hidden, but they provide the backbone of one of the elements of our support services and programmes into activation and into employment. And I want to just genuinely acknowledge and respect the experiences that they provide, and you'll hear later on from some of the people who've really gone through those programmes between TOOS and CE. These are invaluable to us. These are the first steps of people entering into structured employment and training sessions. And for those of us who have small barriers from the workforce, these tools are so empowering, not to use your phrase, Adeline, but they genuinely are so empowering, and I think they deserve particular respect. I think community employment is a programme which helps longer term unemployed people re-enter the workplace, not only again by practical active employment, but again by consistent training during the lifetime of your time on that community employment scheme. And again, I genuinely have to acknowledge that most of the work that's done by either TOOS employees or CE employees are really, really valuable and valued services in our community. And actually, if we're to be really fair to the people who are providing those services, I think we all know in a lot of cases the work should probably be carried out by other arms of the state, be it the Department of Health or the Department of Children or the Department of Transport, and they're not. They're being filled by people like you in this room, and we are genuinely very grateful for the services that you're giving us, but also the opportunity that CE host companies are allowing us as a department to use for training purposes and for practical experiences purposes, and I think that has to be acknowledged. We just provide the money, and in terms of these kind of valuable schemes, the money is the easy bit. The most influential and hard bit is the real life experience that people gain by going through TOOS and by going through CE, and I don't think it can ever be understated or oversaid, so I just want to say it again today. I want to close by saying events like this help us to look at the future. It helps us to plan for a better future, to collaborate together, and I'm particularly mindful of collaborating together with communities. I've come this morning from the INOU conference, which is a 26 county-led organisation that works in the grounds in our towns and villages with unemployment services, many of whom are here today. It's the real, live, lived experience as told to us that will actually inform either corrections in the schemes that we run or will initiate new schemes to make sure that whatever we're missing and the gaps that we're not currently filling for specific cohorts of people will be hit on the nose, as opposed to us just deciding that we think something might work. We want to work from evidence-based, from realities, evidence-based stories of what people actually need, as opposed to what we think they need. Excuse me, I think in order to realise that, we need to specifically target people who are help us gain people employment. People with less secondary school education, for example, have a far greater risk of unemployment. People with lesser language skills, I've spoken to one of the ladies today who's running English classes, tells me that she could be running far more English classes. People who have literacy and numeracy issues. I think we need to specifically hone in on real live challenges and barriers and make sure that we put together supports for those people. I want to just finish up by officially launching the One Step Closer programme. I've lost my last page now, so I'll have to talk off the hoof. I want to launch the One Step Closer programme. There's initiatives like this up and down the country, but this is one of the most successful and well organised, and I think you're all testament that you're here today to know how well organised this event has been or will be. I want to wish you every success with all of the supports that are here in this locality and run by the absolutely superb team that you have here in Empower, in every one of you, in either gaining training to get the skills that you need to get you into the workforce, or actually getting employment through TUS, through CE, that will then bring you on to getting a full-time job, a better job, and a career hopefully supported by my department and Empower in the many years to come that you have left in your working career. I want to thank you for coming today, to congratulate the people that are going to speak to you in a few minutes for sharing their real life stories with us, because it's not easy standing up here when you're not used to it, and to wish you all every success in your future. I deem it now officially open.
Now we're just going to move on to stars of the show for today. So Sonia Lennon, the founder of Dress for Success, is going to host an informal conversation with three very special guests, and I'm going to allow Sonia to introduce our guests and talk about Dress for Success and her own experience of the activation programs. Just to introduce Sonia, I've known her for years, has always been a very strong advocate for people returning to work and is a tireless campaigner for equality for women. So we're delighted to have you here today, Sonia, and I'm delighted that we're back in the trenches together, calling for support for job seekers. And I would call on everyone here to support the Dress for Success campaign for equal pay for women as well. So thank you, Sonia, for your generosity of heart and spirit, and I'd like to invite you up now to the stage. Thanks.
Thank you, Adeline, for the lovely introduction. I'll keep this pretty brief because I think the real meat of this event is in the stories of the three amazing people that you're about to meet. Can I just get a show of hands of job seekers in the room? Okay, well, you're in for a bit of a treat. I'll tell you a little tiny bit about my background. I always worked in fashion, and I presented a TV show for 7 seasons, and something was at me. I wanted to do something. I had a profile, and I wanted to use that profile to make a difference in our community. And my initial thoughts were that I wanted to support children. I am a mother myself. I have 13-year-old twins, and I felt that the future of our country and our society is in the hands of the children and in their ability to exhibit strong, high self-esteem. And then I read an article about Dress for Success, the London office, and I realised at that moment that the future of our children is in the hands of the parents. So if you can give the parents high self-esteem, a sense of self-worth, a sense of purpose, and economic independence, that's the best gift that you can give to that child. So Dress for Success is now 7 years old. We've served in excess of 2,000 women. At the moment we only serve women. We stand for confidence and equality, and in fact everything that I do in my life stands for confidence and equality. To that end, I have a slight anomaly around not serving men, and it's something that we are looking at doing into the future. And we would like to offer the support services that we offer to women also to men, because the need is as great. So what we do is we have a styling service, a one-to-one styling service for our clients. They are referred into us from organisations like Empower and about 80 other organisations across the country. They're met with a personal stylist. They are given clothing to present themselves at interview, clothing that's right for them, that makes